Hey guys and girls, here to do a little recap and maybe talk about a few things. I don't know. We'll see. Past week and a half has been pretty much the same, more or less, than the week before. There was a few points where I felt like I wanted to have a drink or I felt a little bit triggered to have a drink, and I didn't. I either talked to someone about it or I, just processed it in my own mind and decided I didn't want to have a drink. It feels a lot easier now. It's just normal to me not to be drinking, and I don't think about having that beer or going out for a drink with somebody. It's very something about this time, something about this experience is different than the times that I've quit drinking or had taken breaks in the past. And I don't know what it is about this experience. I don't know if it's the calendar that I made that I'm Xing off days on. I don't know if, it's me putting it out here on the internet, if it's me actually telling people this time, but something about this time is different and it feels good. It feels great. Read a couple great articles this week. One on was profiling somebody's blog who went through something quite similar to what I'm doing right now. He quit drinking for a year, I believe, and he had a weekly blog that he did, and it kind of turned into a project or a campaign, and now other people can commit on this website, a month, 3 months, a year to quitting drinking. And he did it for much similar to the reasons that I have, to explore the world of sobriety, to see what it was like to not have alcohol as a crutch or as a part of his daily life or her life. I don't actually know if I believe it was a guy. But then the other article was about a man's journey with quitting alcohol, and it was his unique journey. He never went to AA. He talks about the steps that he felt were most important and that led to his successful quitting. And he says a couple times through the article, and this is a point I think that I've brought up in the past, everyone's experience is unique. So what I try for myself, what you try for yourself, might not necessarily work for each other or might not work for someone else. So if I see that this person has done it this way and I'm like, great, I'm going to do it that way, and it doesn't work for me, it would be pretty easy, I think, to get down on myself, to think I'm a failure, and to just give up. But what works for them isn't necessarily going to work for me, because we're all beautiful, unique people, and so it's different. That article about the steps that he took to quit drinking, there was two other points that I thought could be pretty widely applicable to everyone else, and that the one I just talked about was that everyone's experience is unique. Second one kind of ties into it, is don't fear failure. Just because something doesn't work doesn't mean that we need to give up entirely. Just because if something doesn't work, I think it's a lesson as to what we can do different next time, and we know a little bit more about ourselves and what doesn't work for us, and we know a little bit more about what does work for us by process of elimination. The last point was that, what was the last point? Don't fear failure. Everyone's experience is unique. And if you're going to do something like this, and this is something that worked for me, so maybe I think it's a good point, is do it publicly. So if you're going to quit something, start something, I think it can be used just as easily with like working out. Do it publicly. Like, tell your inner circle, tell your family. You need to tell, or it'd be best, I think, to tell some people. That way, you're not you're putting it out there. So you're externalizing it, you're expressing it, you're putting it out into the universe, and at the same time, you are holding yourself a little bit more accountable by having other people there to support you. And I don't want to say watch over you, because I think all the power needs to come from in you as an individual. However, to watch over you more or less, to help you out, to help you be accountable to yourself. Um, yeah, I've been doing a bit of reading. Um, got some books from the library, and just to find out a little bit more about what the history of alcohol is, what has led to it having such a large part in our lives. And I won't go too deep into anything right now, but I'll share one thing from one of the books. The first line from this book is, alcohol is a fundamental part of Western culture. And I kind of read that, and I'm reading these books trying to get more information on alcohol, and I'm going through this experience of reanalyzing what alcohol means to me and what my relationship is with it. And then this book says that it's a fundamental part of our culture. And just to make sure I understood, I looked up the definition of fundamental, which is forming a necessary base or core of central importance. And I thought it was funny, and I don't think I necessarily, at this point, agree that, to me, that means that, like, our culture couldn't exist without it, without alcohol, if it's fundamental. My interpretation, but I thought that was a little bit of a LOL moment for me. Anyway, thank you for watching and sharing this journey with me. Much love.